Hi, I'm Vicky. So in this video I'm going to be doing a full face of makeup with an emphasis on a certain brand. Now I want to do a few of these videos focusing on a different brand each time, and I have a fair amount of makeup from particular brands, but I don't have enough makeup from those brands to do a full face. So in this video I want to focus on bareMinerals. Now bareMinerals is a bit of an underappreciated brand. I feel like not many people talk about them here on YouTube, and I don't really know why, because they are an excellent brand. They do some absolutely brilliant powder products in particular. bareMinerals is a brand that I've been aware of for probably about 20 years, but when I was a teenager, and actually at the moment a bit, I used to have breakouts quite regularly. So I viewed their products, in particular their original loose mineral powder foundation, as a product that only people with normal skin or people without any breakouts would use. I looked at it and thought, no way is that gonna cover my breakouts. That's not gonna work for me. I'm gonna wait until my skin is perfect to try it. So it wasn't until about 10 years ago, I think, that I actually tried bareMinerals for the first time. And I started off with their original loose mineral powder foundation, and it is a brilliant product. If you've never tried it before, I would recommend it. And since then I've tried more and more products from the brand, and I really do like them. I feel like their powder products are better than their liquid products, however, but an excellent brand. Now I've already done my primer. I've done the Max Factor Smooth Miracle Primer. This is the one that's in my project pan, and I'm making good progress on this. So if you buy the starter kit from bareMinerals, you do get a primer in there, and that's how I first started bareMinerals products. I bought that little starter kit. It came with a mini primer, it came with a mini original powder foundation, I think it came with a mineral veil as well, and the warmth bronzer. So a great little introductory set. Now I don't recall the primer being amazing, but then if you've watched any of my previous videos you know that I'm not the biggest fan of primers, but I think it kind of did the job. But I've not repurchased it since, so maybe that's a little bit of a sign that it's not an amazing product for me. So if we go on to foundation then, so bareMinerals do a variety of different foundations. I've tried most of them. I have 3 bareMinerals foundations at the moment. I have the Complexion Rescue. I've got 2 different shades of this. I've got Vanilla and Wheat, but Vanilla is my perfect shade. I've got the original Loose Mineral Powder Foundation, and I'm in the shade Fairly Light. And in the Bare Pro Liquid Foundation, I'm in the shade Dawn. So although I have some breakouts at the moment, I would usually go for the Bare Pro because that provides a little bit more coverage than the other 2. But just to show you how most of these products work, I am actually going to start off with the Complexion Rescue, and then I'm going to put the original Mineral Foundation over the top, just to show you how both products look. And I've got the smoothing face brush from bareMinerals as well. I bought this with the Complexion Rescue in a set from QVC. So it's a bit of a mousse consistency. If I keep my hand like this, it won't immediately start dripping off my hand, but it will move a little bit, so it's not as liquidy and as runny as other foundations. And I'm going to use that smoothing face brush to apply it. So I was originally swatched in the shade Opal, but Opal is the lightest shade. It's designed for somebody who's more of a porcelain skin colour, which isn't me. Although I am light, I'm fair light, I'm not the palest of the pale, and I'm not porcelain. I do have a bit of colour, though you can't really see it at the moment, to my skin. And Opal has more pink undertones to it, whereas I've got neutral to warm undertones. So Opal was a little bit pink and a little bit pale for me. So I bought the shade up, which is the shade Vanilla, which is what I'm using at the moment. And this is a much better match for me because it is a little bit darker than Opal, but it gives you that yellowy undertone. So this brush is quite nice at applying this product. It's not streaky, whereas some stippling brushes can be. This is quite soft. Like the name says, it is quite smoothing. Now this is a sheer to light consistency, so you can build this up. You can leave it like this, or you can apply another layer and build up the coverage a little bit more. So that is one layer. As you can see, you can still see my blemishes, so I would go in with another layer. I use this product more in the summer when I want a bit of coverage but nothing too heavy. I don't like wearing really thick, full coverage matte foundations in the summer. I just find them a bit heavy. So this is much better because you get a bit of a dewy finish with this. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of a dewy finish. I have an oily T-zone, so it's quite easy for me to get a dewy finish naturally. But this is quite a light dewy finish, so it's not going to be really like glowy and you're not going to feel like you're quite oily. Now, you can use this face brush that comes with it. You can use another stippling face brush. You can use a kabuki brush. You could use a damp sponge, but because this is a sheer to light finish, using a damp sponge is only going to sheer it out even more. You can also use your fingers as well and just apply it like you would do a moisturiser. So that's how it looks with a second layer. So like I say, you can build this up to get a little bit more coverage. So if I just show you a bit closer, that's my cat. My cat has come to join us for this little section. So because this is a sheer to light finish, the shade ranges are quite forgivable in this. So I had Opal, which was the fairest shade, which was more for pink undertones. I've got Vanilla, which is the shade up, which is more for yellow undertones. And I've also got Wheat, which is the next sort of stage up for that. So that's maybe light to medium skin tones with that yellow goldeny undertone. And all three of those shades suited me. Yes, Opal was a little bit too pink and a little bit too pale, and Vanilla is my perfect shade. But if you can't find your exact shade, don't worry too much. Like I say, they are very forgiving. You can always bronze up a lighter shade. So I am going to powder this with the original Loose Mineral Powder Foundation, but you can just leave it like this on days where you want a little bit of coverage but nothing too much. Okay, so next is concealer, and I don't have a bareMinerals concealer, but because this is a little bit of a dewy finish, I'm not going to go in with my Tarte Shape Tape. I'm going to go in with a couple of my Fenty concealers. Okay, so that's my concealer done, so let's go in and powder, and I'm going to be using the Loose Mineral Original Foundation. Now I'm in the shade Fairly Light with this one. So once you take the lid off, you can twist it to reveal, I'm not sure if I can show you, some holes, and that's where the product comes out. So into the lid, just going to tap some powder out. Now, like with the Complexion Rescue, this is buildable, so start off with a little bit and then buff it in and then add a little bit more if you feel like you need it. I don't have the brush that comes with this powder foundation, but I do have the tapered face brush, so I'm going to use this one. So with this powder foundation, you swirl, tap and buff. So brush into the lid with the product, you swirl your brush around, rotate your brush as you swirl, swirl in the opposite direction as well to pick up even more product. Tap off your excess, and then you just buff it into your face, and the more you buff, the more coverage you're gonna get. So although this is quite an easy foundation to use, I find that it's not the quickest. So I don't use this when I'm in a rush. I don't have time to spend buffing this into my skin. I just want a quick whack of foundation. And again, like with the Complexion Rescue, you can wear this one on its own, but I just wanted to show you what the two products were like, so that's why I've layered it, and you can layer it as well, that's absolutely fine. So that is what one layer of the powder looks like. I am going to go in with some more. So again, tap some in your lid, swirl, tap, buff. And that's with a second layer. So as you can see, it's not really full coverage. You can build it up. I mean, like I say, I would have gone for the Bare Pro usually to cover my blemishes, but this just gives a really nice natural finish. Your skin still does look like skin at the end of it. Now what you can do as well with the Loose Mineral Powder Foundation is to use it as a concealer, and you take a small fluffy brush and you can use it under the eyes, around the nose, on any blemishes. So I'm going to do that as well. So again, same principle, swirl, tap, buff. That is their saying when it comes to using this foundation. And just target where you want that little bit more coverage. Now this is quite nice if you find that liquid concealers sort of crease on you, or they get in your fine lines around your eyes. This might be a better option. Okay, I'm going to prime my eyelids with the Urban Decay eyeshadow primer potion. bareMinerals do have their own eyeshadow primer, and I have used it in the past, but I don't recall it being that good. I didn't find it as long lasting as the Urban Decay one. Okay, so let's do the eyes first before we finish off the face, and I'm going to be using this bareMinerals eyeshadow palette. And I went into Phoenix a couple of years ago and I had a makeover on the bareMinerals counter, and they used this palette and it was absolutely lovely. I'll see if I can put up the video as well that I took of myself afterwards and show you what they did. And this is called the bareMinerals Ready Eyeshadows, and I don't think you can get this anymore. I did do a search, but I think it was only a limited edition product, or it's just no longer being made. So if you can see, you've got some light greys, light mauves, purples, dusky pinks, and in a couple of the purples as well, there's a bit of a grey silver undertone coming through. And I'm not sure if you noticed as well, but I actually depanned that colour. I think it was a really pale ivory, pale pink, and it just didn't show up on me, so I got rid. So I'm going to take this shade, which is called Lure, and it's quite a pale dusky pink. It's a matte colour. I'm going to take that all over the lid. Now in the palette came a double-ended brush, so I'm going to be using this brush as well. bareMinerals is a brilliant brand, but where they excel is with their powders. I find that their liquids, so their Liquid Bare Pro foundation, aren't as good as their powders. They've got their powder formulations down. So if you are after a powder foundation, bareMinerals is definitely the brand for you. So that's a little bit darker than I was thinking it would be, but doesn't matter. Looks nice. So really pigmented, really easy to blend. Now I don't wear purples that often, although purples really complement green eyes. I don't really go for purples that often, so I don't use this palette as often as I should, but I'm thinking that I might include it in a Shop My Stash sometime soon. So that is what that colour looks like. And I'm going to take Hot Spell, which is a brighter, darker purple, and just put that a little bit more in the outer corner, just build up that intensity a bit more. And I'm going to take some of Ensemble and put that in the very outer part of my eye, just to build up that darkness a little bit more. So this is a mixture of matte and shimmer shades in here, so I'm just going to take one of the shimmers and put it in the inner third and the middle of my eye. I'm going to take Persuasion. That's quite a nice taupey grey purple shade. Now I'm going to use my finger for this because shimmers often work better with your finger. I feel like this look needs a liquid eyeliner, so I'm going to use my KVD Tattoo eyeliner. Okay, liquid eyeliner done. We're going to move on to mascara now. So bareMinerals do some really nice mascaras. Their Lashtopia is really lovely. Now at the moment I am using the Strength and Length mascara. Now this is a serum infused mascara and it's meant to help strengthen your lashes and help them to grow longer as well the more and more you use this. Now when I first got this mascara I didn't like it. The wand is a bit weird. The wand is flat and quite thin, so it is a little bit weird and it does take some time to get used to. And I prefer a round brush because I like to roll the brush through my lashes, and with this I find that I can't do that. But this mascara is actually growing on me. I like it, but I don't love it, so I don't think I would actually repurchase this. If I was going to repurchase any bareMinerals mascara, it would be the Lashtopia. Now, is this making my eyelashes stronger and longer? I'm not too sure. My eyelashes are quite long anyway, so if there is a difference, it might just be quite small. But if you do have quite sparse eyelashes, they're short, then by all means give this one a go. Like I say, it is nice. I don't love it, but it is growing on me. I am liking it more and more that I do use it. And I find with mascaras it does take about a week or two anyway to see if you do like it. I think mascaras need to dry up a little bit for them to actually start working nicely. So let's apply this. I am going to curl my eyelashes first. That is what I do usually do, so I'm going to do that. Now if you're wondering about the size, this is the mini version. I picked up a free sample through Fleur de Force's Instagram page. I don't have any bareMinerals brow products, so I'm just going to use the NYX Micro Brow and NYX Control Freak. I'm in the shade Taupe with the Micro Brow. Okay, brows are done, so let's finish off the face then. Now I have a bareMinerals Crystalline Glow Face Palette. Now you can't get this anymore, but I will show you what it's like just so you can sort of see the quality of bareMinerals face products as well. Now this is what the palette looks like. This is the bronzer. This is the blush and the highlighter. So these are all quite kind of corally pink shades, very warm. Oh my goodness, I've just realised. Wow, I've had this maybe 3 years. And I'm going to use the tapered face brush to apply these products. So let's start off with the bronzer. This has a little bit of shimmer in it, just the tiniest amount. Let's go for my forehead. Don't think the shimmer's showing up. Cheekbones. So I like to use this palette in the summer. This isn't really a winter palette, a winter colour theme for me, because it is quite corally, very warm. This does give you quite a sort of sun-kissed golden glow look. Right, let's go on to blush, which is this shade here. So this is what it looks like swatched on the hand. I think that was the bronzer. So this is what it looks like swatched on the hand. So very corally, very pink, orange. So I'm going to use a different brush for my blusher. This is the Zoeva Cream Cheek brush. Really, really like this brush. And I'm just going to apply it where the bronzer is. Ooh, can you see that that is quite shimmery? I didn't tap my brush into much of that at all. I'm not sure how I feel about that. What do you think? Really pigmented, really easy to blend. I'm just not sure on the colour. That looks better off camera actually. I'm not sure if the camera's just making it look way more shimmery than it is. But I've got a mirror here and it doesn't look as contrasting as it does on the camera. But this is a closer look. I might just put a little bit more on my apples of my cheeks. Okay, not sure how I feel about that one. You'll have to let me know what you think. So let's go in next with the highlighter. This is Pink Moonstone. This looks very similar to the blush. Now you could probably use this one as a blush if you wanted a lighter blush, but they say this one is the highlight. So let's give this one a go. Now that is what it looks like. So this is the blush and this is the highlight. So as you can see, that's a really pigmented highlight. That's incredibly pink. That is probably more of like a blusher topper. I'm just applying that where I usually apply my highlights, on the cheekbones, bridge of the nose. I don't feel like it's giving me highlight, it's just giving me more blush. Not sure about that palette. Really pigmented, really easy to blend, but it's just the colours I think with this. Alright, so I'm just going to do my lips and I'll be back. So for my lips I used MAC Subculture lip liner with the Fenty Gloss Bomb in Fenty Glow. Okay, so this is the final look. Now I do quite like how it's all come together, but there's just a couple of things I want to mention about the products I used. So Complexion Rescue is absolutely brilliant. I really like that on days where you just want a little bit of coverage but nothing too much. You can just whack that on, go about your business for the rest of the day. The original Loose Mineral Powder Foundation again is absolutely brilliant. Like I said, the powder products that bareMinerals do, that is where they excel. You can build up the coverage, so if you want a light sweeping, you can go for that. You can build it up to get more coverage. Only 5 ingredients as well. Big shade range as well for the Loose Mineral Powder Foundation. The face palette wasn't my favourite. Like I say, I do quite like how this look has come together, but it is very corally, very golden, very warm. Now it has been discontinued. It was a limited edition product, so you can't actually buy it anymore. However, although the colours are not my favourite and they are very, very glistening, I feel like my skin is very, very glowy, the quality really is there. Really pigmented, really easy to build up the coverage, very nice to blend, but maybe just not the best colours. The eyeshadow is excellent. The colours are so pigmented. Again, really easy to blend. I know this eye look will stay here for the rest of the day. It will not budge. And although you can't get this particular eyeshadow palette anymore, bareMinerals are always doing new eyeshadow palettes. I do recommend that you try them out. Like I say, the quality of the eyeshadows are just absolutely brilliant. The mascara is good. Not my favourite mascara that they've done, but again, it is a good mascara. So this is a close-up of what it looks like. So you can still see my blemishes a little bit, and that's just because the Complexion Rescue and the powder foundation aren't the fullest coverage that bareMinerals do, but I kind of don't really mind that. You know, skin is skin. Stuff like dark circles, pigmentation, spots are going to come through, and that's okay. This is the eyeshadow. Lovely colours, really complements green eyes. The face palette is quite nice. As you can see, it is very glistening. But yeah, I quite like the final look. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, then please give it a thumbs up. If you're not already, it would be lovely if you would subscribe as well. And I hope you have a lovely rest of the day, and I will talk to you in my next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.